55 million years ago, before dinosaurs went extinct, before flowers even existed on Earth, this desert was already old. And today, 3 million people call it home. They don't just survive here, they thrive here. Elephants have learned to walk across sand dunes. Black rhinos climb mountains to catch the ocean breeze. Himba women never bathe with water their entire lives because water is too precious. Instead, they smoke themselves clean with tree resin every night. In the capital Windhoek, women wear Victorian dresses next to German cafes. And 700 miles away, a 20-year-old girl mixes red ochre in the morning and texts her friends over Starlink at night. This isn't a story about surviving despite the desert. This is a story about thriving with the desert for 55 million years and counting. Welcome to Namibia. Let's start where it all begins, the oldest desert on Earth. Picture this. It's 5 a.m. You're standing at the base of a sand dune called Big Daddy, 1,066 feet tall, taller than the Empire State Building. The sand is rust-red colored by 55 million years of iron slowly oxidizing. You look up and you can't see the top, only stars. Namibia is massive, 318,000 square miles. That's Spain and Germany combined, almost the size of Texas plus New Mexico. But only 3 million people live here, which makes Namibia the second least densely populated country on Earth, right behind Mongolia. Manhattan has 74,000 people per square mile. Namibia has 8. The Namib Desert, which gives the country its name, stretches 1,200 miles down the Atlantic coast. And Namib doesn't mean desert in the local language. It means vast open place. Locals never called this a desert. They called it home. Now, the climate. During the day, the sun hits 100 degrees Fahrenheit. At night, it drops to 40. That's a 60-degree swing in 12 hours. Some parts of Namibia get less than 4 inches of rain a year. Up in Windhoek, the capital, you're at 5,590 feet elevation, so the air is thin and cool. Summer days hit the mid-80s, winter nights drop below freezing. And there's a place called Namib, the first dark sky reserve in Africa. The night sky is so clear you can read a book by starlight. No filter, no telescope, just you. Now here's the wildest part. The desert isn't dead. It has a secret. Every morning, the cold Benguela current from Antarctica smashes into the hot desert air, and it creates fog. Thick silver fog that blankets the skeleton coast at dawn. That fog is the only water source for hundreds of species. There's a beetle called the Namib fog basking beetle. It stands on a dune, tips its back into the wind, lets fog condense on its shell, and drinks the drops as they roll into its mouth. The Topna people who've lived here for 500 years do the exact same thing. They rig up fog nets. They drink the sky. This desert doesn't punish the things that live on it. It teaches them how to slow down, how to save, how to wait. Before we continue our journey through Namibia, let me know what time it is where you're watching and which country you're in. Drop it in the comments below. Now sit back, relax, and let's enjoy this journey together. Part 2. The People of the Desert. Namibia is home to 13 major ethnic groups. 13. Each with their own language, dress, and philosophy of life. Half the country is Owambo. Then the Herero Damara, Nama Kavango Caprivian, and two groups that will stop you in your tracks, the San Bushmen and the Himba. The San are one of the oldest continuous cultures on Earth, 25,000 years of history. Their language has something no other language has: click sounds. 5 different clicks. Say hello in San, and you sound like you're playing percussion with your mouth. Then, the Himba. If you've ever seen a photo of an African woman with reddish skin and elaborate braided hair, that was probably a Himba woman. Their skin isn't naturally red. Every morning, they mix animal fat with ochre powder and aromatic ash, a paste called potjiekos. They rub it into their skin and their hair. It blocks the sun better than SPF 100. It repels insects, and it looks incredible. Here's the wildest part. Himba women never wash with water. Not once in their lives. Water is that precious in Cocoa Land. Instead, every night they bathe in aromatic smoke, smoldering commiphora resin, myrrh, cinnamon bark. They come out smelling like a spice market. Now let me tell you about the Herero, because their story is my favorite paradox in Africa. Herero women wear giant Victorian-style dresses, layered colorful floor length, and a hat shaped like cow horns called ohorokova. German colonists forced Herero women into that dress in the 1800s because they thought African women needed to cover up properly. But the Herero took that dress, made it their own, and turned it into a symbol of independence. Today, when a Herero woman puts it on in Windhoek, she's saying, "We're still here, and we're stronger than what was placed on us." There's a saying up north, Omutima Mwene, one heart, one spirit. In the desert, nobody survives alone. Kids in a Himba village are raised by all 30 adults in the homestead. Everybody's uncle, everybody's grandma. And Namibia elected its first female president in March 2025. Netumbo Nandi Ndaitwah, an Ovambo woman who fought for independence in the 1970s. Now she runs the country. You've made it through the first part of our journey. If you're loving Namibia so far, drop a 1 in the comments below. What's coming next is the everyday life you probably never pictured. Stay with me, my friend. Part 3. City life and village. Life side by side. To understand Namibia, you need to see both worlds, city and countryside, coexisting in the same 3 million people. Let's start with Windhoek, the capital. 325,000 people tucked between mountains at 5,590 feet. Here's what surprises everybody. Windhoek is one of the cleanest and safest capitals in Africa. Streets lined with jacaranda trees that bloom purple in October. Crime rates lower than Chicago or Detroit. You can walk downtown at night and feel completely at ease. But Windhoek's real heart isn't downtown. It's Katutura, a township north of center where 60% of the city lives. Once a segregation zone, under apartheid today, it's the cultural soul of the capital. And it's home to something you have to try. A market called Single Quarters. Every afternoon, the smoke of grilled beef fills the air. A man cuts fresh beef into strips and grills it in front of you. Season it with a secret chili spice. Serve it with tomato onion salsa. $2 a plate. Best Kapana on earth. On weekends downtown, Windhoek turns into a slow parade. Office workers spill out of jazz bars on Independence Avenue. Herero grandmothers in Victorian dresses share sidewalks with tech founders in sneakers. 20 minutes out of town, you're already among zebras at Deadvlei Game Reserve. That's the pace here. Coffee at 9, antelope at 10. Now travel 700 miles northwest, into Kyoko land, into a Himba village called an Onganda. Picture a circle of 7 or 8 huts, mud sticks, cow dung thatched roofs. In the center, a cattle pen, and in front of the chief's hut, a fire called okuruwo. It's been burning for generations. It never goes out. It connects the chief to his ancestors. The day starts at 5:30 a.m. Women milk the goats. Men herd 100 cows out to graze. Kids play. Elders watch. At sunset, the whole homestead gathers around that sacred fire. Someone starts a call and response song. Nobody has a phone in their hand. Nobody needs one. Here's the wild part about 2026. That Himba girl mixes her otjize the same way her great-grandmother did. Then she pulls out a phone. Solar panel on the roof. Starlink reaches even here. She texts her cousin who moved to Windhoek to study nursing. 2 worlds, same country, both thriving. Animals had to learn to live here too, and what they figured out will blow your mind. Part 4. The fastest animal on Earth. You know what I love about Namibia? It has the world's largest population of cheetahs. 1,500, 1/3 of every wild cheetah on the planet. Picture this: golden savanna at dawn. A cheetah walks out of the tall grass, 30 inches tall at the shoulder. 90 pounds of pure muscle. Yellow coat with round black spots, and those 2 black tear lines running from eyes to mouth. Same reason NFL quarterbacks paint eye black on Sundays. It kills the sun's glare. Now watch. She sees a springbok. She freezes, crouches, then she explodes. 0 to 60 in 3 seconds. Faster than a Ferrari. Top speed, 75 miles per hour. But here's the catch. She can only sprint for 30 seconds. Any longer and her body overheats. Every hunt is 1 shot, 1 chance. Miss it and she tries again tomorrow. Cheetahs hunt during the day. Lions and leopards hunt at night. This split lets cheetahs avoid the bigger cats because a cheetah is fast but not strong. Now here's the American connection. In 1990, a woman from Oregon named Dr. Laurie Marker came to Namibia and started the Cheetah Conservation Fund. She invented a solution nobody had tried. Give farmers a special guard dog, the Anatolian Shepherd from Turkey, to protect the goats. That's it, just a dog. Farmer stops shooting cheetahs. Cheetah stops eating goats. Cheetah population goes up 80%. 1 dog, 1 idea, whole ecosystem saved. But cheetahs aren't the only survival miracle here. Part 5. The elephants that surf dunes. Meet the desert elephant. There are only 2 places on Earth where you can find desert-adapted elephants: Namibia and Mali. Namibia has about 150 of them roaming Damaraland and the Skeleton Coast. Here's what evolution did to them. Smaller bodies than bush elephants, longer legs, and bigger feet like walking on snowshoes across sand. They can walk 44 miles a day looking for water, and they can survive 4 days without a drink. Regular elephants need water every single day. But here's the wildest part. There's a viral clip. Desert elephants literally surfing down sand dunes. They plant their front feet, tuck their trunks, and slide 200 feet down like giant gray kids. Some scientists think they're playing. Others think they're bathing in sand to kill parasites. Now let me tell you about black rhinos. Namibia holds 90% of the southwestern black rhino population. 90%. Desert black rhinos are bigger than their South African cousins, and they climb mountains, 200-foot cliffs. They do it to catch the cool Benguela breeze in the afternoon. They drink every 3 or 4 nights, not every day, and they eat cactus. The Save the Rhino Trust watches them 24/7, and in a moment, we get to eat. Part 6. How Namibians eat. Let's talk food. Because Namibian food is what happens when German technique meets African fire, meets 55 million years of hunting tradition. Start with Kapana. Fresh beef sliced thin, tossed on an open grill. Kapana spice, a family secret. Salt, chili, chopped tomato and onion. Eaten with your fingers standing at the market next to a Herero grandma in a Victorian dress. $2 a plate. Then there's Braai, South African for barbecue. Every weekend the whole country smells like smoke. Oryx steak, springbok chops, kudu ribs, grass-fed, wild, zero hormones, washed down with Windhoek lager brewed since 1920 under the German purity law. 2 more you have to try. Biltong kudu or springbok, salted, cured, air-dried for 2 weeks, like beef jerky if beef jerky went to cooking school. And potjiekos, a cast-iron 3-legged pot cooked over open fire for 6 hours. 1 rule, never stir. Now get ready, because what's coming next is the moment that changes people forever. It's 5 a.m., pitch dark. You're bouncing along a gravel road inside Namib National Park. Nobody speaks. You arrive at the base of dune 457,500 feet tall. You start climbing. The sand shifts. Every step sinks halfway up your calf. Your legs are on fire. But if you're sporty, you don't stop at dune 45. You keep going to Big Daddy, 1,066 feet tall, taller than the Empire State Building. You climb for 45 minutes, just you and your breath and the sand. And when you reach the top, the desert opens up beneath you. Waves of red sand stretch to the horizon. Then the sun cracks over the horizon. The sand turns black to orange to blood red in 90 seconds. Every dune has a razor-sharp shadow line, half in fire, half in ink. You realize you're crying, and you don't know why. Now slide down, Big Daddy. The sand catches you. 2 minutes to descend what took an hour to climb, and you land at the edge of Deadvlei. Deadvlei means dead marsh. A clay pan, pure white, cracked, salt-covered. 900 years ago, the Sauchab River flooded this pan and gave birth to a forest of camel thorn trees. Then, the river changed course. The trees died. But the desert is so dry, the trees can't rot. They've stood there for 900 years. Black skeletons on a white floor, framed by red dunes. You've seen this landscape before. Mad Max Fury Road was here. So was Alien Covenant. You are standing in the most photographed frame on Earth. And no photo does it justice. That's what Namibia does to you. But if Deadvlei is a dead museum, Etosha is the living one. Part 8. Etosha Waterholes. Etosha National Park 8,600 square miles, 7 times the size of Rhode Island. The Ovambo people called it the Great White Place because of the giant salt pan at its center. That pan is so large you can see it from space. Here's the secret to Etosha. You don't chase animals. You sit at a waterhole and animals come to you. At Okakwejo Rest Camp, there's a floodlit waterhole open all night. 9 p.m. a pride of lions strolls in. 11 a family of elephants shows up. 20 in the herd. The babies stumble. The matriarch drinks. Then at 2 a.m. silent, a black rhino appears. Almost every night. And you sit there in the dark, watching one of the rarest animals on Earth drink water 3 feet from your bench. But somewhere south, there's a hole in the earth you can walk into for 5 days straight. Part 9. Fish River Canyon. Fish River Canyon is the largest canyon in Africa, second largest on Earth after our Grand Canyon in Arizona. The stats are wild. 100 miles long, 17 miles wide, 1,800 feet deep, 100 million years old, carved by the Fish River, drop by drop. And here's what's cool. It gets 100 times fewer visitors than the Grand Canyon. You can stand at Hobar's Viewpoint at sunset, and there's nobody there. Just you and 500 million years of geology. If you're feeling brave, hike into it. The Fish River Trail is 55 miles long. 5 days. No marked path. You sleep under the stars in a sleeping bag. Not a tenter bag. Only open May to September. Any hotter and people die. But if canyons are scars on the land, this next coastline is a graveyard in the sea. Part 10. Skeleton Coast. The Portuguese called this the Gates of Hell. The San called it the land God made in anger. The Skeleton Coast stretches 310 miles from Angola to Swakopmund. Fog from the cold Benguela Current. Rip currents from the deep Atlantic. Sandbars that shift every storm. The result, over 1,000 shipwrecks scattered along this beach. Wooden schooners from the 1600s. Steel freighters from the 1970s. Whale skeletons bleached white in the sand. Then Cape Cross, a rocky point where 210,000 Cape fur seals come to breed. The noise hits you from 2 miles away. The smell, you'll never forget it. Cape Cross is also where Portuguese explorer Diego Cao planted the first European cross on African soil in 1486. And along this same coast, the sand ate an entire town. Part 11. Kolmanskop Ghost Town. Ready for this, in 1908, a German railroad worker was walking near the tracks in southern Namibia. He bent down, picked up a shiny stone. That stone was a diamond. Within 3 years, Kolmanskop was the richest town in Africa per capita. Art Nouveau villas, a tram down the main avenue, a ballroom, ice shipped in from Cape Town for cocktails, a 300-seat opera house, a hospital with the first X-ray machine in the Southern Hemisphere. Then, in 1928, bigger diamonds were found 200 miles south. The party moved. By 1954, Kolmanskop was completely abandoned. Today, you walk into a bedroom of a German villa, and sand is up to your knees. Broken windows, torn curtains, parquet floors stained ochre orange from decades of dust storms. Every year, the desert takes back a few more inches. Photographers travel from all over the world to shoot the light coming through busted door frames into sand-filled ballrooms. In 70 years, the desert reclaimed what always belonged to it. But while humans lost their fight with the desert, There's a plant that has won for 2,000 years. Part 12. Welwitschia and Nara. Meet Welwitschia mirabilis. The name means Welwitschia's miracle after the Austrian botanist who discovered it in 1859. Here's what's insane. Some individual Welwitschias alive right now are 2,000 years old. The plant you can touch today was already growing when the Roman Empire ruled the Mediterranean. But it gets weirder. Welwitschia only ever grows 2 leaves. In its whole life, just 2. But those leaves keep growing and get shredded by the desert wind into ribbons until the plant looks like a green octopus that fell out of the sky. Some leaf ribbons are 20 feet long. How does it drink through the fog? Same Benguela fog that feeds the beetle and the Topnar people. There's also the Nara melon, the only wild fruit in the entire Namib. The Topnar people have lived on it for 800 years. The seeds have more protein than a chicken egg pound for pound. But if the desert is about survival, the coast is about adrenaline. Part 13. Swakopmund. Adventure capital. Swakopmund. 44,000 people. When you walk down the main street, you'll swear you took a wrong turn to Bavaria. Red-tiled roofs, a wooden train station from 1901, bakeries selling apfelstrudel that would win awards in Vienna. But go a mile inland, and you're on the biggest sand playground on Earth. Sandboarding down 1,000-foot dunes, you hit 55 miles per hour. Cheaper than snowboarding in Colorado, and you don't need a jacket. Quad biking through the Namib. Skydiving from 10,000 feet, you jump, and for 2 minutes, you see red dunes on one side and the blue Atlantic on the other, all at once. Dolphin cruises out of Walvis Bay, pods of dolphins racing your boat. Fresh oysters they serve on deck cost $1 each. Try finding a fresh oyster for $1 in Manhattan. Now let's head back to the capital, because the most beautiful paradox in Namibia is still waiting. Walk down Independence Avenue in Windhoek any Saturday, and you will see her, a tall Herero woman, wearing a floor-length Victorian dress, layered fabric in emerald and gold and crimson. A hat shaped like cow horns rising 12 inches above her head. That hat is called a horakova. Every dress is hand-sewn. Every dress weighs 30 pounds. Every dress takes 6 months to make. The Herero didn't invent this outfit. German colonists in the 1800s forced them into it. But the Herero took the dress, owned it, passed it down, and made it a symbol of something else entirely: survival, independence, identity. Today, a Herero woman wears that dress to weddings, funerals, Independence Day, Sunday church. And when she puts it on, she's saying, "We're still here. We're stronger than what was placed on us." Now swing over to the end of April. Windhoek Karneval, Wika, the biggest Oktoberfest in Africa. Picture this: a plaza in front of Christuskirche, the neo-Gothic Lutheran church, built in 1907. German Namibian men in lederhosen. Herero women in Victorian dresses. Owambo dancers in traditional beadwork. Damara musicians clicking through folk songs. Tuba music mixes with rock kwaito. Windhoek lager flows like a river. Grilled sausages next to plates of Kapana. Kids running everywhere. 3 cultures, 1 square. Nobody trying to be somebody else. Everybody thriving as themselves. That's Namibia. Not German, not African, Not modern. All of it. At once. My friend, before we wrap up, here's the practical stuff you need to know. Best time to visit May through October is the dry season. Days are 68 to 77 degrees Fahrenheit. Nights drop to 32 to 45. Animals concentrate at Waterholes in Etosha. Fish River Trail is open. Skies are cloudless for Sossusvlei sunrise. July through September is peak. November through April is the green season. Fewer tourists. Cheaper prices 20 to 30% off. Birds migrate in. Bushes turn green. Now the money. Budget travelers self-drive with a rooftop tent spend $50 to $80 a day. Campgrounds cost $10. Cook your own food. Mid-range a guest house and rental 4x4 expect $100 to $250 a day per person. A Hilux truck with camping gear runs $85 a day in low season, $130 in high season. Luxury fly-in safaris, $400 to $600 a day. Round-trip flights from Boston, JFK, or LAX to Windhoek, connecting through Frankfurt or Doha, run $1,100 to $2,200. Etosha entry fee $6. Cheapest national park in Africa. Kapana at Katutura $2 to $3 a plate. Visas. Since April 2025, most Americans and Europeans need a visa. $90. Get it online before you fly or on arrival at the airport. Kids under 6 are free. Passport valid 6 months from entry. 2 more things. They drive on the left. Rental cars are stick shift by default request, automatic early. On dirt roads, deflate your tires to 25 psi or you'll blow a rim. One last tip. Do not fly a drone in any national park. Instant $500 fine. Namibia, the oldest desert on Earth. Elephants that walk across sand dunes. Rhinos that climb mountains. Himba women who bathe in smoke. Herero women who wear Victorian dresses like armor. A 20-year-old girl mixing red ochre by morning and texting friends by night. 3 million people waking up every day inside the most beautiful paradox on Earth. If you ever set foot in Namibia, you won't leave with photos. You'll leave with a new definition of what it means to thrive. Because Namibia isn't just a country, it's proof that life doesn't need easy conditions. Life needs meaningful ones. If Namibia just landed on your bucket list, drop Moro Moro in the comments below. That means good morning in Oshiwambo. If you enjoyed this journey, hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss the next country we visit together. Where should we go next? Morocco, Bhutan, Mongolia, Peru. Drop your guess below and share this video with the friend you want to travel with, the one who's always wanted to see cheetahs in the wild. Until next time, my friend Karanawa. That means stay well in Herero. Karanawa from Namibia.